But without further ado, I am getting confirmation that we are ready for that run. Our next run coming up right here is Neutopia 100%, run by Vonnie Von. Vonnie, take it away.
Alrighty, threepup, thank you very much. I will go ahead and do exactly that. All right, hello everyone. My name is Vonnie Von, and I am going to be running Neutopia here on the TurboGrafx 16. And this is going to be a lot of fun, because if you are up on your recent Neutopia marathon speedrunning history, you know that for a couple weeks ago, I did this at RPG Limit Break 2025. But what I did was the most difficult category that exists for this game, where I did not get the Fire Wand, and it made life very difficult. This is going to be much different. I'm doing the 100% category, which means that I will be getting everything, including the Fire Wand, and that will make me very happy. But what would make me even happier is if you folks got that donation incentive met for Puppy Cam. If you're a regular of my stream, you know exactly what this is. If you are not a regular of my stream, you will want to know exactly what this is. So, but I'm sure my good friend threepup here will be telling you about it all run long until we get there. So, but speaking of getting there, we should get started. Threepup, are you ready for this?
Yeah, yes, I am so ready.
Fantastic. I will get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So here's the lore of Neutopia. In the middle of the night, here in peaceful Neutopia, this evil wizard Dearth beams himself down, goes into the palace, and he kidnaps Princess Aurora, which is really messed up. But it also summons our great hero. Everyone say hello to Jazeta. He is going to be our protagonist for today's adventure. And what's happening right now is the Temple Mother is kind of debriefing him on what happened. Mainly, Princess Aurora got kidnapped by the evil Dearth. He has taken her to his climactic castle, which is his fortress on the North Pole. And the only way to get there is through that door behind her. But the only way to open that door is to collect the 8 medallions of wisdom from the wise men of years past. We will fix them here in the temple, and then that door will open. And so we set forth. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to pop in, we're going to talk to this guy, and he's going to give us an item called the Book of Revival. What this does is it allows me to collect passwords, or more importantly, allows me to save my game via a what was a peripheral called the file cabinet, which was essentially a very primitive memory card. So, but we're getting this because it's 100%, but we also do a safety save or two here if we need it. Now I'm going to pop over here because I'm just going to pick up a couple items here that are basically for marathon safety and are very useful. But these are consumable items. This here is a pack of bombs. We're going to need these to blow open holes in walls and whatnot, as well as blow open some holes in bosses, as well as this vial of medicine, which we will use to refill our life when we need it. Now, there are going to be some areas where being at full or near full life is going to be very important for certain strats, and I will be sure to cover that once we get to it. So, my next destination here is to pick up that fabled fire wand that you all have heard so much about, but maybe not seen so much about because I skipped it in my limit break run. But we will skip it no more. We will get it. We have to for this category. And once we get it, we are going to be using it a whole heck of a lot. So here we are. We talked to this legally distinct bonk here. And he is going to give us the fire wand. And this is quite lovely. We will be using this a lot. Not right away, because we don't really need to kill enemies here. Maybe just to get some out of the way, but not terribly important right now. But what is important is understanding how the layout of Neutopia works. There are 4 overworlds that are done in a specific order. We are starting here in the land sphere. Each of the overworlds are referred to as spheres, but there's the land sphere, then we will do the subterranean sphere, third will be the Sea Sphere, and then finally we will visit the Sky Sphere. Now, in each of the spheres are 2 dungeons, or they're referred to as crypts in this game, and each of those crypts is one of those medallions that I was referring to earlier. So that's what we need to do. We need to collect all those bad boys so that we can go and fight the final boss. But before we do that, we're going to before we get into our first crypt, that is, we're going to come here and we're going to talk to this guy, and he is going to give us an extra segment of life. This is a good opportunity to kind of talk about what exactly is entailed in the 100% category. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be collecting all permanent items. I'm going to be collecting all of the individual sword, armor, and shield upgrades. And I'm going to be collecting all of the bomb capacity upgrades and all of the life capacity upgrades as well. And that is what constitutes meeting the 100% category of this game. Now, technically, there are 4 there are 4 life upgrades that I can go get, but I'm only going to collect 3 of them. And the reason being is that you get a life upgrade every time you collect a medallion. And if you were to collect all 4 life upgrades, then the 4th one wouldn't really count, because you can only have a hard maximum of 16 life segments, and collecting the 4th life upgrade would give you a 17th segment that you wouldn't actually get. So we only collect 3 of the 4 life upgrades. So here's the fire wand at work. It shoots out these little fireballs, at least for now, that allows me to assault enemies from a distance. And this is great because it allows me to not get assaulted all the time by these jerks who want to do me harm. And I don't like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just throw a bunch of fireballs at them. I'm also going to collect this magic ring, which I will explain later, but I'm very happy to have that now. And we're good with that. Now, I'm on my way in this crypt to collect the key. Each crypt has a singular key that is unique to it that you need to have in order to open the door to the boss of that crypt. So that's what we'll be getting here. Now, another note about the crypts that we will be doing in each of these spheres. Like I said, each sphere has 2 crypts. Whoops. I'll take that, though. So what I'm doing right now is crypt 2. This one is definitely intended is the better way of putting it. This is intended to be the second crypt that you do in this sphere. However, we are doing this one first because the items either on the way to and or in the crypt are very useful, and we want to collect them as soon as possible. In fact, what we're going to be doing in all spheres is we're going to be doing the second crypt first. So essentially, the order of crypts that I'll be doing is going to be 2, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5, 8, and then 7. And again, the reason for that is because the later crypts have some really nice goodies, and we want to get our hands on those as quickly as we can. So what I'm picking up here in just a second, after I put these guys, this is our first sword upgrade. And this is really useful because it now doubles our sword strength. And it's actually stronger than our fire wand is for the moment. So that allows me to kill these enemies in just 1 strike as opposed to 2. Whereas these would take 3 hits, but instead I can just do the fire wand. I can do a stab and a fire wand and kill them in 2. And that makes that a little easier. So only a couple rooms away from the boss here. But yeah, being able to use the fire wand here allows me to kill these enemies without having to get super close to them, and it just saves on life. And the enemies do drop those cherries, which do refill a segment of life, but those are not very common. So depending on those to kind of keep my life up when things go badly is not a great idea. So we try to preserve the life we have so that we don't die, because dying is not good. So yeah. All right, here's the boss. What I'm going to try to do is 2 cycle him here. I got 6 hits on the first cycle. We're going to get 5 hits on the second one. We're going to be done. right? 3, 4, and 5. Yes, okay, good. If that goes to a third cycle, it just wastes a few seconds, and that's it. All right, so now we have our medallion. And every time you get a medallion, you get whisked back to the temple. We place it in the temple, and then we set out to get the next one. In this case, because we've only gotten the first one here in this sphere, that means we're going to go right back out where we came and go to get the next one. And as I am walking to this crypt number 1 now, there's not a whole lot going on. So what I would like to have going on instead is my friend threepup talking about stuff.
Yes, yeah, thank you so much. We have a donation here that was talking about some discourse that we had during our last run, that Final Fantasy 15 run. We have $9 from Lani Akea that says, "Que and work are different moods. And Final Fantasy 9 is the best, and I want my 9 remake trailer. Happy Pride, trans rights are human rights."
Yes.
Thank you so much. And again, because I just can't help myself, I love starting discourse on the internet. I've been hearing some rumblings that chat may have like opinions about this fire rod. So if you have opinions about the fire rod, send them to me in donations and make sure you apply them towards that pet the dog incentive, and I will be sure to read them all out.
Yes, by all means. I think the opinions that people have of the fire wand is they don't want me to have it because me not having it means me getting trolled, and people seem to really like that. So, sorry, y'all. Today's not your day. I got the fire wand, na-na-na-boo-boo, and I'm just going to go ahead and use it a whole bunch. Like right here to kill those bats across the room, because they are kind of jerks and they like to hide from me. But I'm not going to play their stupid game. I'm going to instead play the game where I set them on fire and they die. And that's always good. There we go. So those wings, I think have I collected wings? I have. Okay. I will use, so what the wings do is they teleport you back to the last place you saved. I'm going to use them once, much later in the run, just to save a few seconds. Otherwise, they don't really do much. Casually, they'd be a lot more useful. But for the speed run, we only use them once, and it saves a little bit of time, but not much. So, so that's what those are all about. Kill everyone in here. And what we're going to collect in here is actually going to be our first armor upgrade. I'm actually getting... I just got done saying, oh yeah, you barely ever get cherries in this game, and I've already gotten like 4 drops of them, which there are times like when I'm doing a PB attempt where I won't get 4 cherry drops in an entire run. And of course I'm getting a bunch of them here. So, go figure. Alright. Now, these enemies here, it's going to be all these little earwigs. I'm going to want to try to get them all stacked up as much as I can. And of course they don't cooperate, because why would they? If they all kind of get stacked up there, I can do damage to multiple enemies at the same time with one sword staff. And it's kind of a nice way to corral. Alright, let's... Oh, shoot. Alright, let's see if I do this right. I only have 6 bombs, which isn't great. Let's see if I can get this quick kill, though. Yes! Perfect! Alrighty. So that would normally take 17 sword stabs to kill that boss. However, each bomb does as much damage as 4 sword stabs. We hit him once to back him up against the wall. We then get in a specific spot, drop 4 bombs at just the right rhythm, and as long as all of them do damage, he dies very quickly, which is great. All right, so now we are on to the subterranean sphere. Now, every sphere that we go to is going to bring new enemies and new challenges and whatnot. But something else that's new is the fact that we have at least 8 segments of full life right now. And as such, that is going to affect the output of the fire wand. And you see it looks like that now. Instead of being little fireballs, it's these kind of slow-rolling columns of flame that will do a little more damage to enemies. But it's a little harder to control because they move so slowly. Now what I'm picking up here is an item that we need to get because it's 100%. And this is called the Moonbeam Moss. You're going to start seeing that some of the rooms in these crypts are going to go completely dark. And if you want to be able to see just about anything in there besides yourself and the enemies, you'll need to use the Moonbeam Moss to light the way. Now, I will not be doing this because I don't need to. I'm going to be navigating these rooms pretty much entirely in the dark because using the Moonbeam Moss wastes time with menuing, and I know where I'm going, and it's kind of fun to just see how these rooms get navigated in the dark. So I will be showing that off for you. I'm just picking up another bottle of medicine here just for a little bit of safety. So that's good. Got a little bit of walking to do before I collect my next important item. So threepup, if you have anything to share, go ahead.
Yes, I do. As you're just blazing through this run with the help of the fire wand, I have a donation here, $10 from Leggy Starscream that says, "Hey Vonnie, hope the run's lit. You're really burning your way through these crypts, turning all your enemies to ash. So, wand are you waiting for? Show everyone how fire this run is. Good luck, and may your inspiration always be strong."
Thank you, Leggy. That was fantastic. Leggy was on the couch for my run of this at RPG Limit Break, and she was keeping track of all of the inspiration memes that we made, and she was on the winning team there, as you often are when you side with inspiration. Now, speaking of stuff that's awesome, especially here in Pride Month, we are going to pick up a very special item called the Rainbow Drop. So, this item is going to allow us to create these little very gay rainbow bridges that we can walk across over one-tile gaps in order to traverse them. And you actually need this to get through the first room of Crypt 4, which you're going to be entering in just a couple of screens here. So it is a very cool item, and one that we celebrate quite often for reasons which should be fairly obvious. All right, now, I want to kill these guys because I would like to get a bomb drop in case I need it, and I didn't. Great. Oh, well, what? So you see here are some of these dark rooms, where the only thing you can see is yourself, the enemies, and occasionally some items in there, like some blocks, other things like that. But often, like in this room here, it's just me and the enemies, and that's it. There is a pattern of blocks. There's actually a bunch of blocks here in this room that are obstructing my path. And you're just going to have to take my word for it, because I'm just walking around everything because I know where it is. Please stop. That'd be great. All right. This is a bit of a detour here, as opposed to, let's say, the any percent path, because I need to pick up another item that is required for the 100%. Oh, and I will show you what that is shortly. All right. Push this block to open up here. This is going to be a demonstration of how we use damage boosting to our advantage. Anytime you get hit, you always boost in the direction opposite what you're facing. So we use this in, like, I'll just use this here to make sure that I boost the direction that I actually want to go. And this is a nice little method we use for making things a little easier. It's very important on certain boss fights, so we like to do that. So obviously what I've picked up here is now my second armor upgrade. So this is nice, especially for a marathon setting where we want to die as infrequently as possible and taking less damage. It's a great way to make sure that happens. So yeah. What's going to be coming up here is one of my least favorite rooms in the game, Fire Wand or not, because of certain enemies that are in here. And that is these ghost enemies, or ghost claws as they are called. These things are annoying for a couple reasons. First of all, they take no effect from the Fire Wand. So using the Fire Wand on them, as you see, does nothing. But the other thing that they do, and you see the one on the bottom did it, is they can just like randomly disappear. And when they do, I can't hurt them. And that really stinks because, yeah, look, I'm trying to kill this guy and he's just trolling me by going away. And that's just annoying. So anyway, that room can, when you're going for a PB attempt, that room can be a big waste of time. In a marathon setting, it's not really that bad, but just I have bad memories. It's just bad juju from all of the PB attempts that I've done at this game. So yeah. So here I'm getting the key so that we can get into the boss's room. And this is kind of a little bit of backtracking. So, so threepup, if you want to jump in here for a minute, you have some time.
Yes, we're getting more love coming in to see that dog.
Yes.
We have $15 from Zokubun that says, okay, but can we get the dog wand in this run?
There are no pet companions in this game, sadly.
Oh,
I know,
darn.
I know. A bit of an oversight on the devs' part, I admit, but not a whole lot we can do. Whoops. That's right, I've got to step on a very specific tile there. Is this ghost going to be a jerk? He's not-ish? Yes, he is. Okay. All right. So we want to kill these guys with the sword because with these ones, they're actually weak to this sword. So instead of having to hit them with 5 fireballs, we can just hit them with 3 stabs, and it just kills them a little easier. All right. Now, coming up here is a very complicated boss fight. Ooh, barely pulled that one off, man.
Oh, yeah.
That was close.
I was worried for a second, but yeah, you really pulled that one out.
Yep. So, so that boss we affectionately refer to as Stunlock Earwig, and the reason why is that normally it's this big kind of bug enemy that moves around and can be very annoying to fight. The way the boss works is that only its tail segment actually takes the damage, but all of its segments take the hit stun from the sword. So you can just basically walk in that room on the right tile, walk straight up, bounce all of its segments off the wall all day long, and it dies just like that. Which is great, because otherwise that boss would be really annoying to fight. So, yeah. So this gentleman here is going to give us our first bomb capacity upgrade. But what's even better than being able to hold 12 bombs as opposed to 8 is the fact that he refills my bombs. You see, I only had 1. This next crypt that I'm going to, I need 5 bombs just to get through it. So that is a perfectly timed bomb capacity upgrade for what I need here. So we're going to burn this rock because, of course, the fire wand burns rocks too. And we will...
What can't this wand do?
Oh my goodness, this wand, it just makes me... You know what, threepup? It just makes me happy. It really, really does. Everybody saw me in a very unhappy state at Limit Break, and they were taking great joy in this. And it hurt my feelings a little bit, but we raised a bunch of money for Nami, so I wasn't terribly mad about it, but still. Anyway, so yeah. This dungeon isn't terribly eventful, so I think this would be a fantastic time for you to talk to us about some stuff.
Yeah, we have some more love coming in for you.
Me?
We have $10 here from Drake Lake that says, hey, Vonnie, don't have anything really clever or funny to say. I think Caltrans sign took care of that. Happy Pride, folks, and trans rights.
Yes, thank you very much. That is a reference to a sign that I spied on the freeway on my way to work the other day. One of those warning signs along the side of the road that they can program to say different things. And this one was alternating between saying reduced speed ahead and trans furry pride. And I thought that was absolutely delightful. So I made sure to share that with my friends.
Yeah, I also want to remind folks we're $65 away from PupCam.
Oh my goodness!
And I know I've said a lot about PupCam myself, but I don't want everyone to take my word for it. So, Vonnie, you want to tell us about how great this PupCam is going to be?
Okay, so I have a dog. Well, I have 3 dogs actually, but I have one dog in particular who is the star of the show anytime I stream. Her name is Catalina, and she is like drop dead gorgeous. She's just an absolutely beautiful dog, and she's also a big ham when it comes to bringing her on puppy cam. And so it's a regular segment on my stream. You have to spend channel points to get there, and usually, like, you know, at the end of my run or whatever, I'll bring her on, and everybody gets to say hi to her, and it's great. And so I want to share that with as many people as possible, and Prevent-A-Thon was gracious enough to give me the opportunity to do that. Well, actually, I guess give y'all the opportunity to do that, because you need to meet that donation incentive by sending in money to Little Warriors in order to make that happen. So let's do that. Let's also fight this boss, where I'm just going to come up here and pin these guys against the wall and block that shot, and just keep bouncing them against the wall until they die. There we go. Perfect. So that is now 4 of the medallions collected. And away we go. Now, that is both of the medallions from the subterranean sphere, which means that now we have access to the sea sphere. This is where the difficulty of this game, whether it be speedrunning any category or even playing it casually, increases significantly. This next crypt that we're going to, in my opinion, is, I'd say, easily the most difficult crypt in the game. So, we're going to want to prepare for this. First thing we're going to do, is we're going to talk to this guy. He is going to give us our second manual life upgrade. Okay, now when you come out of here, you need to make sure you hit that guy out of the way, because otherwise he'll hit you as you're facing down and bounce you back into the steps from whence you came, and you go back to talk to that guy again. So if you don't hit him out of the way, you kind of get stuck in a loop there. So yeah. Now this one here is going to give me my second bomb capacity upgrade. Now I'll be able to hold 16, and between now and when I get my last bomb upgrade, this will give me plenty of bombs for what I need to do here. Of course, this jerk decided to go up. But the next item that I'm about to collect is a very necessary one, literally. You need to have this to get into Crypt 6. But it's also one that is my personal favorite because it is extremely helpful for the speed run. But before we can get in there, I gotta kill this guy and hope he dies, and then just throw a bunch of fire at that dragon, and perfect. The fire wand makes getting through that screen so much easier, and it just makes me happy. Now we're going to talk to this guy, and this gentleman here is a cobbler. And what he's going to do is he's going to give us an item called the Falcon Shoes. Now, the Falcon Shoes, like I said, are required to cross over the emblem that protects the entrance to the next crypt, but it also doubles our movement speed. And of course, for speedrunning, this is fantastic. So you understand why I want to collect this ASAP. But it's also nice because, like I said, the enemies here get a lot more difficult to deal with. So being able to dodge and move around them more quickly is a lovely bonus. So yeah, we are almost to this crypt here. And it starts out with some challenging stuff. So I'll be talking plenty about this as we go. All right, in we go, and the first thing we deal with here are these jerk wizrobe guys who will throw out those magic arrows anytime we get into its line of sight. Now, those magic arrows will actually neutralize my fire wand shots, so we want that to happen as little as possible. You can imagine how fighting those with only a sword would be extremely challenging. So, good thing I don't have to deal with that. But I do have to deal with these kitty ghosts who move around very randomly and sometimes take knockback and sometimes they don't. And when that happens, I don't know. So, that makes them fun to deal with as well. But anyway, there we go. They're all dead. And we had to clear out this room because this has the key. Gotta get that. And then we do some backtracking here. These enemies here are another example of enemies that will only take damage from swords. Or, I'm sorry. Well, more, I guess the better way of saying is they will not take damage from your fire wand. I could hit them with, like, bombs and stuff, but I don't want to waste bombs on them, because bombs are not terribly easy to use as weapons in this game, only in select boss fights. Alright, now, what I'm about to demonstrate in a couple screens here is the power of that magic ring that I collected near the beginning of the game, and it is incredibly useful for what we need to do. So we're going to equip it here. I'll show you what this is all about. Okay. You see all these big wizard enemies, and now you don't, because I've used the ring and I've turned them into these lesser enemies, which are these slugs. Now, we're looking for particular slugs, and those would be slugs that drop more rings. We refer to these as slug homies. So everyone, we're rooting for the slug homies because there's a room coming up here where we're really going to want to have a ring, and we need a slug homie to come through in order for us to get there, because rings are single-use items, and you can only hold one at a time. So I will need to collect another one in order to use it where I want to. This is another room where just having the fire wand is just so incredibly useful. I can kind of just shove these guys out of the way with the fire and not have to worry about them doing a bunch of damage to me. It's also nice here for these two, because you see how these things kind of bounce up and down when they move, when they're moving horizontally. If I'm just shooting that little fireball at them from the lower grade of fire, they can bounce right over it, and with this wall of fire, they can't. So it's just an easy way to kind of corral them. So that's great. All right, there's some slugs in here. We're really going to hope that we find a slug homie here. Not yet. Okay. Come on, slug homie. Do we have a slug homie? Come on, please. Ooh, not good. Okay. I have one more chance. The room where I need the ring is 2 rooms from now. Ooh, is that going to give me... Yes. So, as you might imagine... Oh, shoot, and I just gave it right back. Those rolling columns of flame do more damage than these fireballs. That's why I really want those. Is so it takes less hits to kill these things. But whatever. Fireballs are better than having to stab with my sword. Slug home, come on, let's go. Come through for you. Oh, that's nice. Slug homie, please, please. No, okay, this is not great. All right, so this room is going to be extremely tricky because I've got these 4 wizards that I have to fight, but I have to do so. Oh my God, I just got completely bailed out. Wow, that hourglass could not have been more fortunate. Oh, nice. Okay. I got extremely lucky there. So, cool. Yeah, no homies so far. We will have more of a chance. We actually do want the ring for another room, but that's not until Crypt 8, so we've got some time. So let's not worry too much there. Wow, okay, I'm taking a lot of damage here. That's not so great. Let's go ahead and use a potion now. So it'll make killing these guys actually feasible. Please, just come over here into the fire. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Ow. Looked away for 1 second. Should not have done that. Alright, there's a block right. Where is it? Hello? It's right there, isn't it? Am I... There it is. Okay, sorry. I got lost for a second. Okay. Now, this next room here really stinks. This is where I have to fight these wizards here with these turrets as well. The fireballs from the turrets can also neutralize my... fire, and yeah, this is just... You see how just those turrets fire so much, and it's really easy to just get completely caught up in everything here. Alright, now this is the boss here that I hope I do right. Okay, I'll take it. Oh god, I gotta use another potion. Don't die! Okay, good. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so the name of the game is to try and get in between the head and the body so that you can just keep bouncing it against the wall and doing a bunch of damage and kill it that way. Slug homie here, maybe? No. Okay, worth a try. All right. Well, we are now done with Crypt 6. That is out of the way now, which is nice. By the way, that boss there we refer to affectionately as Poverty Trinex for, again, reasons which should be obvious. So, yes. So now we are off to Crypt 5. But what we have as we head to Crypt 5 is now 12 full segments of life, which means that we have the final form of output for the Fire Wand, which we refer to as the Good Fire. This fire keeps rolling, is faster, does way more damage, and just basically trucks enemies. It is incredibly useful to have this. However, because I have exactly 12 segments of life, it is, yeah, so, and I've just lost it. Even though it looks like I have 12 segments of life, I don't have the good fire anymore because I've got, like, 11.8 or something like that, and the screen is just rounding up as far as what you see there. So, so until I get either let's see if I get a cherry here from someone. No? No, okay. This is always tricky. Lay a bomb. No! Don't fire. Go away. Okay, good. All right. So I'm picking up here the steel shield. This will now allow me to block red fireballs from enemies. That's what that does. So, all right. Oops, I did not need to do that. What I meant to do is kill this guy. All right. I am really just kind of making my way over to Crypt 5 now. So, threepup, if you want to do your thing.
Yeah. Yes, of course. We have some more love coming in for that dog cam incentive. Yep. We have $10 here from an anonymous donator that just says, pup, cam, pup, cam, pup, cam.
Pup, cam, yes, yes. How, where are we at for that incentive?
We are at $55 out of $110. So we're getting close, but we still need a little bit more. And as y'all can see, Vonnie is burning through this run at a red hot pace. So let's get those donations in so we can see that dog.
I am about 20 minutes away from finishing here. So so time is running short. You definitely want to get those in. By the way, I find it, I was going to mention this before, and now I just think about it. The fact that I made reference to before, we're talking about one particular dog, but I actually have 3 dogs, and the fact that my host for this run is someone named threepup is almost too appropriate.
3 is a very good quantity of dogs, yes. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I would know.
Indeed, yes. Now, what I'm doing here, I refer to this as the micro crypt. Basically, all I'll do here is talk to this guy and then leave. And the reason why I need to do this is because this is required in order to make the entrance to Crypt 5 actually appear. If you go onto the screen where it is without talking to that guy, it's just empty ground. You don't, the entrance just straight up isn't there. So it will be after you talk to that dude and push the block. So that's, and this is the only crypt in the game that has something like that, where you need to kind of hit a lever to make the crypt appear. I don't know why they did it for just that one, but they did. So that's how the way it works. Oh, sorry, I still need a slug homie. Is it gonna be one of you? There they are. Oh, I didn't pick up the ring. Oh no.
No.
Ring. I just didn't get it. Oh, son of a bitch. All right, that's okay. There are more slugs in this dungeon. I am sure another slug homie will come through for us. That was really ridiculous. Oops. Oh goodness. Oh well. Like I think there's some here. Oh, these guys are pretty much impossible to get to with this layout here. So we're gonna ignore them. And we're going to come over here and we're going to collect a couple things that we need here. I need to get this guy. And then we're going to come over here to the left. We need to kill everyone in this room so that we can open the door up top. This room is really annoying because it's a mix of different kinds of enemies. There's 8 of them in here, some of which are those zombie kind of armadillo things, which, again, do not take damage from the fire wands, so I have to get up close to these guys, which I'm not a fan of, but such is life. So, the reason why we get this here, get out of my way, please. Thank you. This is our second sword upgrade. We've collected our final armor upgrade. So all we need now is our strongest sword and our strongest shield, which we will get. Both of those things are in the Sky Sphere. All right, we got a couple homie chances here. Let's see if maybe one of these guys. Yeah, see how they kind of float over my fireballs like that? Really fun. No homie there. Homie, we're gonna find out now. Okay. All right. Well, there are more opportunities for me to get a ring, and I will need to see if someone else comes through. Oh, right there. Nice. Okay, good. Awesome.
Oof.
Okay, good. We've got our ring. For cryptic. All right. So now that I've got the key, we can go to fight the boss, which I hope I can get the quick kill on if it cooperates. There's one of two patterns that it can do. One where it starts out by moving left and one where it starts out by moving right. I want it to move left because the quick kill for that is much, much easier. So we're going to get our bombs equipped. So we can do that. All right. Now this boss is always going to start out by moving down and then moving back up to the top. But when it moves left or right after that, we kind of have to react to that. Okay, let's see. Oh, shoot. That's too far away. It's too late. Okay. It's fine. Oh, I bumped down into it. Okay. This is actually kind of bad because I don't have a potion. I might kind of have to do this the old-fashioned way, if you would just please allow me to. Gonna hit? Yes. Okay, good. Ooh, that did not go how I planned it, but that's okay. We're through it. And I should be able to take a bump from this guy if he gives me one, but he didn't. Okay. Phew. Okay, that was close. All right, we're gonna need some donations for Puppy Cam to kind of calm my nerves. I feel like that's the best. That's gonna be the best way to deal with that. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And chat, in order to get us closer to that puppy cam incentive, I want to hear about your pets.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, like, I'm biased maybe a little bit towards dogs, but like, tell me about any of your pets back at home.
Yes.
Back home for me, I have, funny enough, 3 dogs. One named Pepper, one named Audrey, and one named Sir Willis Montgomery III.
All right, so this is going to be where we'll use the wings, because we're going to come in here. We're going to get our final bomb capacity upgrade. I will now have 20. That's going to be way more than enough than what I will need for the rest of this game. And we're just going to use these wings to just basically move 3 screens over. And so that way we just do a little less backtracking. So now we are in the sky sphere, and this is where things get very, very tricky. Really on my way to Crypt 8, there isn't a whole lot going on. So threepup, I'll let you plug whatever you need to do here. But no, to kind of respond to what you were talking about as far as pets. So I've mentioned I have 3 dogs. Lena, who hopefully you will be seeing here in about 15 minutes or so. I have another young pup named Odin, and then I've got my old boy, and his name is Elliot, and he makes appearances occasionally on stream too. But other ones that do occasionally make appearances on my stream as well are my 2 cats. I have 2 cats. They are literal brothers and sisters. We got them from the same litter, and their names are Duchess and Blackjack, and they are both very, very precious babies, and we love them very much too. So just like you, threepup, I am definitely more partial to dogs, but I definitely love our cats as well. They are fantastic.
Really, at the end of the day, I just love all animals.
Yeah.
But yes, I do want to hear about all of your lovely animals back at home, chat. So please send those donations in, and make sure you apply them towards that pet cam incentive. But real quick, I do want to spend a moment here just to talk a little bit about the charity that we're raising money for,
Yeah.
Little Warriors. Little Warriors was granted charitable status in February 2007 and opened its doors March 5th, 2008. Since that time, a team of dedicated volunteers and staff have worked to create an action-based charitable organization to bring awareness, offer prevention, education, and treatment for children, adolescents, and families who have experienced child sexual abuse.
Yes.
Little Warriors is a great cause.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is a wonderful cause, and it's one of the big reasons why I was so encouraged to participate in this event, not only as a runner here today, but also as a host for Saturday and Sunday. So if you like at least hearing me on here, you'll get an opportunity to do that as I host for some really cool runs that are coming up tomorrow and the next day. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to save my game, and then I'm essentially going to do a save and quit. And the reason why is because when I reload, my life is now full. And this is going to be really nice for this crypt coming up here, where I will have at least starting out, assuming I don't get trolled by a bunch of stuff, I will have the good fire, and that's going to make getting through certain parts of this crypt much easier. I'm also going to use a technique here, which I refer to as fire walking, where just kind of as safety, I throw out the good fire and then I walk in it, because while enemies are in their iframes, they cannot damage me. So if there are enemies that take damage from the good fire and I'm in the good fire, they won't hurt me. So it's a nice way to kind of protect myself from the jerks that would mean to do me harm. Okay, there we go. Need to get rid of that guy to get through here. The pattern in this room as far as where I can walk is very, very limited. So I'm taking a very specific path around here. This is a room where it's great to have this good fire so that I can get rid of that bat, and then I can just absolutely mow through these mummies, which have a lot of HP, but when it comes to the good fire, nothing has a lot of HP. I just kind of decimate things with ease, which is great because I like that. Phew, that's probably some of the fastest I've ever done that room. So, a few of my doggos who are deciding to make motions.
Quick little preview of the dog camp.
You can hear them. Sorry.
Yeah, my background here.
Yes. Now, what I've just picked up is an item called the Bell of the Sky, and this basically just breaks the entire game. What it does is that any rooms that have a requirement for any room that has a requirement where you kill all the enemies or push a block or even both to open the doors, you ring the Bell of the Sky instead, and it just forces the doors open. So, I'm really sorry. Stop making so much noise. Donate to make them be quiet.
Yeah, I can actually confirm that the dogs are actually saying, "Please donate.
Yeah.
We want to be on camera."
Exactly. They are trying to make their plea personally. They might not make the incentive. That is so true. And she is in much distress. Why would you want to distress my dog? The goodest girl on all of Twitch. Why would you do this, chat? Donate to Little Warriors. Like, what are we doing here?
No one wants to see the goodest girl on Twitch. It'd be sad.
To be neglected.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So any old men, I should have mentioned this before, any old men that don't have anything to give me, if you press the 2 button when they start talking, you can just skip all of their dialogue. We don't need to listen to their prattling on. We can just save some time. Alrighty, gotta make a detour down here real quick, and I'll use the fire wand to kind of clear a path for myself here. And I will pick up the key, and then I will use it to make a path for myself going back up, which is great. Out of the way, thank you. Okay. Ow! Don't do that. I'm gonna ring the bell here. I'm gonna... Oh, I don't have the good fire. Lovely. Okay. That's not that big a deal because I have a backup here. This is the other room where I want to use a ring. There's all these big bad enemies here, and now there aren't. There's these little kind of lobby things instead, which are a lot easier to corral and kill. So we like that. Those skeletons, the ones in the purple armor that move around, those are other enemies that will not take damage from the fire wand. Speaking of taking damage from the fire wand, I'm going to use this potion here to refill 1 segment of life so I can fight this boss properly. Perfect. We use the good fire there to absolutely cheese out what is otherwise the most difficult boss in the game, and it's not even close. So what that boss will do is it will slide around the room. The mask that it's in will open and close. It shoots in all 8 directions. Trying to get damage on it is very difficult without getting hit yourself, and casually that boss is a nightmare. So we use the good fire to make very quick and honestly, like, it's free work of that boss. That setup is consistent 100% of the time. So it is very nice. So all right, I only have one more medallion to get, and then there is no final dungeon. Once I collect all 8 medallions, it's basically time to just go straight to the boss. So time is running out. If you want to make donations for Puppy Cam, now is the time. If you maybe want to make a big old snipe for it just to get it good, you can do that too. But yeah, again, I'm just kind of doing some walking and collecting here, and if something interesting happens, I'll let you know. But threepup, I'll go ahead and let you talk to the lovely folks here.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we are still at $55 out of $110 towards that Puppy Cam incentive. So if you want to see the goodest girl on all of Twitch, live, on camera, getting pets, being cherished, please get those donations in for Little Warriors.
You know, and that's a good way of putting it. She does get thoroughly cherished. Not just by me, of course, because I love her dearly, but also by everyone else because it's impossible not to love her. She's just so good. So good. So what we're collecting here is the 3rd segment of life that we need to get in order to satisfy that 100% category. If you're wondering, the 4th one is buried deep in Crypt 7, and it is way, way out of the way. So the 3 that we get are by far the most convenient. So we need to ring the bell of the sky here on this screen to make this staircase appear. And when we do, it allows us to come to this island in the sky here. And here is where we will pick up the strongest sword. This is the only weapon of any sort that will do any damage to the final boss. So obviously it's a 100% category. We would pick this up anyway. But even in a casual playthrough, this is a required item to beat the game, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to defeat the boss. So that's why we do this. And this strongest sword is just that. It is the strongest. This actually does more damage than the good fire, so it is very useful in that regard. So we're going to use it quite a bit because it just wastes enemies very quickly. Ow! Didn't want to do that. Would like to have the good fire for at least most of Crypts, the beginning of Crypt 7. So taking damage is not ideal. Those purple, like, Grimer enemies are notorious for being absolute trolls. Like, they're impossible to avoid. And now I've lost the good fire. Okay, great, whatever. Not the end of the world. Okay. You got to be careful with that little enemy there, because if you let him hit you, he will bounce you back down into the stairs and out of the crypt. So we don't want to get trolled in that regard. We don't want to get trolled by that guy either. We're going to ring the bell here instead of killing all these guys. Make that quicker. We're going to avoid this hellhole here where these dragons just continuously pour out until I think there's like 12 of them on the screen. It's something ridiculous. All right. Now, you're actually going to see me use the Moonbeam Moss here for the first time, just for a little bit of convenience here, because there's some very specific blocks that I need to push here. I can do this in the dark. Obviously, when I did this for Limit Break, I had to, because I wasn't able to collect the Moonbeam Moss, because you need the Fire Wand in order to get it. But this just makes things a little easier. So hello, we push this block here, and we push this block here, and this block here, and we collect the key. And then we go ahead and we use the bell to get out of here. Because it's just easier than going and pushing the block. Have we had anything come in for Puppy Cam?
Yeah. Yes, we have a. I'm gonna call it a let's call it a final puppy push,
Yes.
if we will, to meet that incentive.
A puppy push.
We have $5 here from a suspiciously named user named less than 4 and greater than 2 pups that says woof woof woof. And we also have another $5 from an anonymous donator with no comment provided, but thank you so much for those donations. We are so close to seeing that dog. $65 out of 110. That's so close. Please, let's get those donations in. I want to see the dog.
It is very close. And like I said, there is maybe about 4 more minutes of video game here. I'm very close. In fact, I'm going to collect the final item that I need here for 100%, and that's the strongest shield.
I think we can even hear the dogs in the background asking to, like, please donate.
That's Odin running back and forth. Just, I always like these enemies here that can't hurt you, but it's kind of like they're in the crowd cheering for you. Oh my God, Odin is making a whole bunch of unnecessary noise. Unless you feel like it's necessary for him to incite the crowd to get Puppy Cam going here. So this is the last part of Crypt 7, and you're going to see the power of the Bellow of the Sky. So yeah, all these enemies in here we would have to deal with. No, thank you. There's a whole bunch of enemies in here we would have to deal with. Let's just go ahead and skip that. And then you see there's all these weird things that could be we'd have to contend with, and I'll pass. I think I'll just go ahead and just open that door there. Thank you. And we do have to kill these guys because that's the door to the boss right there. And we're going to go ahead and kill him. Now, as far as this boss goes, this boss, I don't want you to blink, because killing him is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. There we go. That's it. The power of the strongest sword on full display. And by the way, that bat there is the true final boss of this grip. So, but we just skip him because we just got the medallion instead. So, I'm looking at that donation total. If you have some things you'd like to say here, threepup, now is your chance because we're about to fight the final boss. Go ahead, go.
I have amazing news. We met the Puppy Cam incentive. We have some great donations right there at the last minute to get us over that hill. Like $50 from Trainer Anade that says, donating on behalf of Hero, my wife's dog, Perseus, my service dog, and Quetzalcoatl, my hopefully to be service dog. And also $25 from Zokubun that says, I yelled this in chat earlier, but I also need Bonnie to hear it now that he's declared Neutopia doesn't have a dog wand. Neutopia, not inspirational enough. I said what I said. Thanks, Bonnie.
Okay, that's fair. But that's nice. All right, so we have the final boss here, which I will go series time so you can hear the music more than anything else. Now, basically a perfect boss fight. Got it in 5 cycles, 2 hits on the final cycle, and we're good. Now, the secret to that boss is not moving left to right, because that can actually appear in 6 different spots on the screen, as opposed to the only 2 that you saw there. But if you do not move left to right, it will always appear above and below you, alternating, completely consistent, and we just basically, we want to hit it 8 times above us, 7 times below us, 32 times total, and then that's it. Speaking of that's it, time is going to be coming up very soon. We're going to go here. We're going to join back up with all of the lovely denizens of Neutopia, and they are going to say, "Hail to the conquering hero. Thus ends the journey of Jazeta. He and Aurora fall in love, rule over the kingdom. Everybody's hearts are filled with kindness. Evil spirit of dearth is gone, and yay, we are all good. When the screen goes to black, which is now, that is time."
Woo! GG.
So, yes, there we go. There is Neutopia 100% done in 58 minutes and 4 seconds. So, that was good stuff. That was a lot of fun. and I hope you enjoyed it. And I tell you what, you don't want to hear me talk about stuff. I know y'all want the payoff here, so let's go ahead and not waste any time there. I am going to go ahead and call my dog. Let's see if she's nearby. Lena!
Puppy camp, puppy camp, puppy camp.
Oh, there she is. Lena, come here. I know, buddy. We're doing Lena here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, goodness. Oh, jeez. That is on my...
There she is.
There she is.
It's the goodest girl on all of Twitch.tv.
It is the goodest girl on all of Twitch. It is the magnificent Floopus. It is the official stream mask. And now I know that Prevent-A-Thon has Pat the dog as their mascot. This is the official mascot of my stream. This is Lena. As you can see, she is, like I said, she is an absolutely beautiful dog. She's 5 years old. She is a golden retriever and collie mix. She is really just, I mean, she's just so pretty. She's very agile, very athletic dog. Barks a lot, barks at just about anything, but it's just because she wants to protect me. It's because she's just, she has a very motherly instinct. We've had her ever since she was a puppy. We got her right before the pandemic started. So we got to stay home with her a little bit. She was only 8 weeks old when we got her. And as you can imagine, she was just like a devastatingly cute puppy. But yeah, she loves Scritches, and she just loves pets and loves love. You did see a second pup you will get bonus puppy cam here. You definitely are getting your money's worth. Yes. I get kisses. I get lots of kisses. And you get lots of scritches. And it's a mutually beneficial relationship, isn't it? Yes. We gotta boop the snoot too. Boop! Cold wet nose, that is a happy dog. Now, normally my dog during puppy cam has a special mode that she goes into, and it's one that she kind of just does on her own, and we're gonna see if that ends up happening here. You gonna do it? I can't exactly like call for it. It just kind of needs to happen. Oh, and here it is. Here we go. All right. So this is a phenomenon we like to refer to as liquipooch, where basically she just decides that her bones are just like not, and she kind of just melts into my lap here. Now, a couple of things happen here. First of all, this is really funny and it's really cute, but as you can see, everything has just kind of become goo, except for this very, very straight and rigid. Whoops, hold on. No. Oh, shoot. Go liquid again. Go. Just do it. No. You ruined it. Okay. Well, let's see if she'll do it again. Sometimes she does it a second time. But yes. So, anyway. We have another little gimmick that we do on the stream. Maybe if she goes liquid again, we can do it. So, anyway. Oh yes, there's our other one. He'll make an appearance here in just a second. Oh, in fact, you can see his. Oh, there's him.
Yeah.
There's him. We'll say hello to him in a minute. But yeah. So Lena is. She's a super good sport about this. She's been doing this ever since. I mean, I think the first time I did puppy cam with her was about a week after we got her, so she was like 9 weeks old. So this is something she is very, very used to, and she's actually in a good mood, because normally, because I streamed late, when I get her for puppy cam, she's on our bed, oh, here we go. We doing it? Yes, okay. So something that we have here is this leg, and at the end of this leg is, of course, a paw, but it's not just any paw, it is the radiant paw of holy light, which she uses to bless all of you, or for those of you fighting gigs out there, we refer to this as Hadouken! So, yes. Yeah, bones are fake. Bones are just part of your imagination. I can turn... we have another saying here where we say that Lena's skeleton becomes gelatin. and she just decides to melt, like, on the spot, which is great. So, all right. Well, I tell you what, I want to, just because I want to show you the other puppy here, because he's right here. So, to all of you lovely people that donated to make Puppy Cam happen, Lena says, thank you very much, and she also says, bye-bye. And we're going to go ahead,
Lena.
and we're going to put her down, and then we are going to, we're going to have Odin come here. Hello, Odin. Yes, here he is. This is my handsome boy. This is Odin. He is, let's see here, he's about 2.5 years old, and he is your quintessential street dog. He just looks like a mutt of whatever variety, but he's an extremely good boy. This is a very smart dog that you're looking at here. He's also very athletic as well, and he has a trick that he does. Odin, come here. Odin, come here. Can you get up here? Can you sit? Can you sit? Okay, now. Do the thing. Yes, look at that. This is the thing. Here, wait. We'll do it again. Watch very carefully. Odin. Do the thing. Do the thing. Yes. Oh, he does it with the other paw too. Yes. Very smart boy. Loves to show off. Loves to show you what a good boy he is. So, yes. So anyway. So, those are my doggos. Thank you very much for making that happen. I always love showing off my pets because I love them very much. And of course, they are also quite magnificent. So, so yeah, but I think that is going to pretty much do it for me here. Everyone, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for letting me show off my dogs. Thank you for letting me show off, I guess it'd be over there, Neutopia. And thank you, threepup, for being such an awesome host. I really appreciate it. And with that, I guess I'll hand it back on over to you. But everyone, thank you so much for watching. And until I see you again, take care, everyone.